What if I told you that I can read your mind? Don't worry, I'm no psychic, but I can read your body language. And body language is an extremely powerful form of communication that can tell us a lot about what a person is thinking or feeling. And today, I'm going to show you how to use body language to your advantage in every aspect of life. I'll show you how to read other people's body language and also how to use your own body language to emanate confidence. Now, before we get started, I have a little experiment for you. So picture this scenario. You're at a social gathering, it's a bustling gathering, there's a huge crowd, you're making conversation with someone you've just met. Now, amidst this crowd, you spot one person who is standing up straight, he has his shoulders thrown back, he has a straight back, his chin is held up high. This person is radiating confidence and charisma and commanding their space. Now ask yourselves, would you be intrigued or possibly even drawn to this person? Let me tell you a little story about myself. As a child, I was never the confident kid. I used to walk while hunching. I used to walk like this. My shoulders used to sink into my body. My head was always down. I never ever maintained eye contact with people when I spoke to them. I was an introvert who used to sink into the chair as he sat down. And Meridian School Madhapur actually gave me an opportunity to improve that part of myself. We had a public speaking class which I joined in the 8th grade, and I have to say that has actually had a very, very big impact. And for every other opportunity that I've gotten, I was the head boy of this school. I was the MC at some occasions. For all of these opportunities to improve myself, from being that quiet kid to being a TEDx speaker here up on stage. And throughout this journey, the takeaway here is, what I realized was changing my body language was very, very detrimental to the confidence that I now feel I radiate. I am much more confident standing up on stage. In fact, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the first thing that I missed was an audience, a podium, and a microphone. This is when I understood the real power that body language holds and its potential to transform a person. So here's a fun fact for you guys. So penguins, the cute little mammals that they are, they have their own form of body language. They do this funny little waddle with their pads which screams, I'm confident and I know it. So I'm sure all of you have heard that age-old advice. Sit up straight, stand up straight, don't slouch. Well, it's usually doled out by well-meaning parents. But what if I told you that standing up straight or sitting up straight doesn't just have the potential to save you from back problems, but also improve your confidence? Here's where we talk about the interconnection between the body and the mind. You stand in a confident stance and you get a boost of confidence. In fact, even when you wear clothes that make you feel powerful, like in this instance, I'm wearing a suit. Now, when I don on a suit, I feel more confident. It's all the interplay between the body and the mind that makes you feel much more confident. It's a remarkable win-win situation where in order to feel confident, you stand up straight and you tell yourself that you're confident and you will be confident. Would you rather want to listen to someone who stands up straight and commands their space, they take their space, they walk around and they talk to you like this? Or would you rather sit here listening to someone who is sitting down, their shoulders are sinking into their body, they're not maintaining eye contact with you, they have a very bad expression on their face, like, would you want to listen to this person? So the next time you are in a nerve-wracking situation, here's a tip for you to try out. Try out the Superman pose or the Wonder Woman pose. So the Superman pose, essentially what it is assuming the pose of the Man of Steel himself. Legs a little apart, hands on the hips, chest out, and you stay up straight, and you tell yourself, I'm confident. I did this just now before the talk. So trust me, it works. Speaking of power poses, extensive research has shown that before an interview or a negotiation or anything, a public speech, doing a power pose significantly increases your confidence levels while also reducing your stress and cortisol levels. Now, this just doesn't apply on the back end. When I say back end, I mean this just doesn't apply when you do it before the speech and you come on stage, or before a presentation and you come up and present. Picture this. I'm sitting on this chair, my legs crossed, my back is straight into the back. I have my fingers interlocked behind my head. The epitome of relaxation, right? Actually, what if I told you that this was also a form of power pose? This is your boss's way of essentially saying, if you have any brilliant ideas, keep them to yourself. People are going to think twice before questioning you, and they are going to grasp your attention when you stand up straight, maintain eye contact, and speak to them in a powerful manner, or even if you're sitting like this. This man looks pretty confident, wouldn't you say? Micro expressions. Those fleeting, genuine, subconscious expressions that you make with your face. These expressions reveal the genuinity of a person. And to be able to tell these expressions, you have an edge over everybody else. It's like wielding the sword of body language. Now, before I tell you why this is so important, here are some of the micro expressions. Anger, fear, happiness, contempt, surprise, disgust, sadness. These can be told by just looking at a person's face. Is a form of bluffing. In the professional world, during a negotiation or during a debate, bluffing can actually play a very big role. Now, there's one very important concept behind bluffing that defines it, which is called mirroring. Now, mirroring is essentially where you mimic the other person's expression. Let's say you're talking to someone and they're telling you something about themselves. And they're making all these different expressions on their face. They're telling you something that brings them anger or something that brings them happiness. What you do when you're speaking to that person is mimic their micro expressions. Now, try it with me here. When I smile, you smile. Now, if I frown, you frown. And if I have a really confused look on my face, you have a confused look on your face. Mirroring is like having a backstage pass to somebody's brain. The person is going to be thinking, oh wow, this person really gets me. I can really connect with this person. It's a very nonchalant way of building rapport with somebody. Now, the eyes, often referred to as the windows of the soul, actually play a very big part in your body language. Maintaining eye contact with somebody when you're talking to them is one of the only ways you can keep them engaged and keep them listening to you, to your points. Now, when I say eye contact, I don't mean staring your conversation partner down like a hawk, like you're only staring at them and speaking to them. That's disturbing. The other person's not going to want to listen to you. Instead, think of it like a game of audience scan. Now, I'm standing up on stage right now, and I'm looking at my audience, you all. And I'm trying to find the most engaged speaker on stage right now. And I am trying to divert my gaze and my attention constantly towards them while also balancing it out with other people. Now, this way, I can make sure that my message is received without any distractions, and I can keep the audience engaged. Now, as a speaker, on a stage, eye contact is very important. So, gestures. A lot of people tend to overlook gesturing. Now, gestures are a very important form of nonverbal communication, primarily because usually when you're gesturing in the right way, when your gestures are balanced, it usually overpowers your verbal communication. People understand more through your gestures than through the words you speak. Now, when I'm gesturing, what I see a lot of people do is they go very erratic. They either gesture way too much, like this, or they stand still and speak. Both of these ways are not going to keep your audience engaged. Instead, think of gestures like a symphony. Imagine your body is dancing, and subconsciously just let your hands do their things. If you feel like somewhere you're going wrong, change up. But right now, I'm not even thinking about my hands. They're just moving on their own, and people are getting the message. So try to play it like a symphony along with your body. The perfect handshake. All of us, each and every one of us, when we meet someone for the first time, we shake their hands. Now, according to Allen Pease, we judge people in the first 4 minutes of meeting them based on their assertiveness and their friendliness. Now, in these first 4 minutes, without a single word being spoken, subconsciously, we size people up. And something that's very crucial in these first 4 minutes is the handshake. People are going to be looking at the way you're sitting, the way you're standing, the way your expressions on your face are, if you're maintaining eye contact while talking to them. But the one thing that is going to stand out there is going to be the handshake. Now, I'm sure all of us have encountered that one limp fish handshake, or one that feels like you never want to shake hands with anybody ever again. Or there's that one case where there's way too much pumping. It hurts your hand. Instead, what you should be doing is have a firm but not an overbearing grip, and pump twice. There's nothing more that's required. Now, this handshake is going to show the other person that you're a confident person, and their judgment of you is going to change. It's going to get clouded because of this one handshake. Now, to demonstrate a handshake, could I have a volunteer from the audience? Come in. Anybody? Anybody coming up? So now, watch. I'm sure all of you guys have encountered this handshake somewhere. Hey, nice to meet you. What's up? Hey. You see this? I don't even have a grip on his hand. Hold. I am just putting my hand there. I'm not even holding his hand. Now, I genuinely did have a friend who used to do this, and I never shook her hand after that. Or, there's this. Hey, nice to meet you. How are you? How are you doing? Tell me more. All of the uncles at my dad's office parties, you don't want to do this, because I don't think I ever spoke to those uncles again. Instead, what you want to do is, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. That's perfect. Now he's going to be thinking, wow, his handshake is pretty strong. That's a nice handshake. What do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah? You can go back. Thank you. So, the handshake becomes a very important and integral part of your body language, because it's the first thing that people look at, and it's the first thing that people judge you based on. Now, let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was at a public speaking workshop, and as an activity, the trainer asked me to come up on stage and deliver a speech while slouching and not maintaining eye contact, not using my hands, just standing still. And I'm trying to deliver the speech like this. So I'm like, yes, hello, this is the speech. Thanks. Instantly, first thing I notice is the audience are distracted. They're talking amongst themselves. It's like a school assembly at 9 a.m. in the morning. Students are talking amongst themselves. Someone is singing in one corner, someone's playing the drums. The message that I'm trying to convey is lost amongst the audience. Then, my trainer asked me to hold myself up straight, maintain eye contact, take a look around, scan the room, deliver my speech again. I used my hands this time. I used my eyes. And I used everything else possible to deliver the same speech. There was an instant shift in the audience reaction. I could grasp everyone's attention like this. All I had to do was change 3 things. And I could grasp the attention of my audience. And everybody understood what I was trying to say that day. Everybody could recall it later. It stayed in their mind. So as a public speaker, I understand that everything plays a very important role. From the way you hold yourself to the way you talk, people need to be able to understand you, and your words are not the only thing that are at play in that situation. Here, we come to the final stages. We come to the main arena of where body language will be used: public speaking and debate. This is the ultimate test. This puts you to the test of how your body language works, how it coordinates with other people. As a frequent debater myself, a lot of things are at play when you're debating. I mean, I remember the first few times I went to a Model UN conference, it was just for the food. But a few conferences after that, I actually started getting in and starting to debate. And instantly what I realized was, some of my greatest adversaries in the room, delegates of UK, USA, and Russia, they stood up straight, looked the other people in the eye, and gave their points out. Now, even if their points were wrong, even if they were bluffing, they had the poker face to hide it that day. That's when I realized, if you're confident about the points you put out there, if you're staring at someone while debating and you're putting your point out forth strong, they are not going to question you a second time. I mean, some people might, but most people don't. So when it comes to debate, your gestures, your micro expressions, your words, tonality, everything plays a very important role. So here's a question I would like all of you to ask yourselves. On a scale of I moonwalk like Michael Jackson to I trip over my shoelace, how confident do you feel about your body language? In conclusion, your body language is like a hidden treasure chest of great things. The interplay between power and posture, the eye contact, the gestures, the bluffing, the micro expressions there, maintaining the poker face, staying confident, all of these things in the end play a very, very big role in your lives. So thank you for listening to me. I really hope you guys had something to take away from this. Just remember, your body is like the waltz. Dance to the symphony of it and realize how powerful your body language is. Thank you.